Another edition of the Bluejay Shakeout Podcast is here. Josh Peterson, Chris Gannon with you as always. And it is the week, Chris, that we've been talking about on the podcast for a couple of months now. It has finally arrived. How are you?
I'm great, Josh. Doing great, man. I'm excited. A little stress, but we're doing great.
Yeah, this week, as we've talked about for, literally since the podcast, since we brought it back a couple of months ago, this has always been kind of in the background, right? We're always looking forward to it. So this week is finally here. The weather, of course, hasn't been exactly what you would have wanted. But otherwise, what has it been like? I know you've had a lot of emails, you've had a lot of text messages. What's it been like as this week's finally arrived?
Yeah, my goal was that I was going to be done with everything by Tuesday so that I could just be a coach on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I actually 100% think that would have been the case had we not gotten the rain at the course yesterday. But it was just a long, all-day steady rain. It kind of gave us a problem spot and just in one spot on the entire course. The rest of everything's in good condition. So, it's been good. We've had a great support staff here at Creighton that's kind of stepped up and helped, and obviously the sports commission, and then Cliff over at UNO, and they're doing their part as well. They host Summit the following day on that Saturday. Fairs has helped out a little bit things around here and running the Bluejay minivan out with some stuff today, but. No, it's one of those things where I think as much as you could prepare and try to be ready until you're actually in the moment, there's just some of those things you can't take care of or do. And but I feel good about it. I think that, we're ready to take it on. The team's feeling good. It's just an exciting opportunity to do something here at home that we've never had the chance to do before.
What does this mean? Explain to the listeners, explain to the viewers what this means for the athletic department, but in particular the cross country program.
Yeah, I got asked that at the presser today, and it was a lump in the throat kind of moment. So I'll keep it clean here with you and try to move through it. It's just special. I think the most special part of it is that a lot of conferences just rotate the opportunity to host. And the Big East doesn't do that. So the Big East, we vote as head coaches on host sites. And so for me, it was as much that Marcus O'Sullivan and Gina and Ray Tracy and Alton and these coaches who are literally some of the best coaches in the nation, and how many Olympians of the world, that they believed in us and believed in this program and how far this program's come enough to give us the opportunity to host. And so I think that's cool. That's really special. The number of alumni we have coming back that were here before we had a course, before we had track and field, that are coming back. It's just this really, really cool celebration of what the growth of our program has been in the last 7 years, and there's this doesn't happen without the people prior to that as well too. Like the men's class of 2008 was back on campus earlier this fall, probably one of the best teams in program history up still today, and that they are excited about what's happening here, and it's exciting. And so no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna really try to take a few moments to at least enjoy a little bit of it the next 2 days, and then looking forward to helping Cliff out on Saturday as they host Summit.
Yeah, and so I wanted to ask you about that, Chris, because so you're doing all this, you're planning all this. You mentioned in the press conference this week the emails, right? The number of emails that you had unread, the number of text messages that you had unread, but you also still have your own team. And so I cannot imagine what this week has been like in terms of the lack of sleep, the tug of like this. You got this stuff to do for the actual event. You have this stuff to do for the team. How's the balance? Has it been as balanced, I guess, as you could have hoped for in the lead up to it?
It's to a point. I mean, my sprint and javelin people that I also coach have been very understanding and knowing that this is taking up a little more time this week. So we're not having sprint practice on Thursday or Friday, and we're only having javelin practice one day. But I'm a pretty busy guy, pretty type A guy.
Yeah.
Got a lot of ADHD type things going on where I don't sleep much at night anyway. I'm a morning person. So I don't want to say I thrive in chaos. That's probably an overstatement, but I'm a person who does not handle still or slow well. So, like this is just, I don't know, I'm in my moment, I guess, in some ways. It's like, let's go, let's just figure it out, problem solve, how do we take care of an inch of rain, or, bring it, let's go.
Yeah, for sure. One more on this, and then we can talk about the team itself. You mentioned a couple minutes ago the emotion. I was watching the press conference earlier today. When the emotions hit you, has that been like, you probably expected it to happen at some point? Has it been like that, maybe one concentrated moment, or has it hit you at various points throughout this week? As you just, you mentioned it. I mean, this is on the backs of the athletes that came before it. And it's very special for not just you, but for not just for the current team, but for everyone that's ever been involved in this program.
That moment at the presser was the first one that was emotional. It's been like nothing but pure excitement, like hearing from all the alums that are coming back, and like, oh, can't wait to see you guys. Like I mentioned, like the fact that my family gets to be out there is
so
definitely
cool.
Really special. They don't, even if they had school, I'll be honest, I was going to pull them out. But it's just, yeah, it's a group of people at Creighton and, fairs and everything that has gone into just people believing and buying into this is what's made it special. From our newest recruiting class, which we'll get to announce in 2 weeks, to see what we're building here. It'll be, we've said it every year, the best class in school history. We'll say it again. And it's just so cool, to see the excitement and the growth and the trajectory of where things are headed, and to be part of that. And man, it's special.
It really is. It really is. So let's talk about this for your team. You talked about it in the press conference. The goals that, like, the team, the men's team, the women's team, they have goals going into this. How do you feel that they're doing? They're looking. The last time we spoke, it was a couple of days before your most recent meet. I know that you were really pleased with how that one, mentioning that they competed well. How do you feel that they are feeling now as this event approaches?
Oh, we finally backed off training, so everybody's notes, their training notes are legs feeling good. We joke about that around here. LFG means legs feel good. So it's that time. We've set up our training for this, and it's they're ready, and they're excited for the opportunity. We're not fully healthy. We've got a couple key people that are a little banged up, but we hope they can just game it on race day and make the most of it. I think that for us, it's going to be, can we run as well as I know we're capable of, and packing up and doing that. If you score projections, using some software and some things like that, you can kind of get an idea of where the Big East is going to be. Butler men, or the projection we saw, I don't know how many times they ran it, they were going to win 100% of the time. They're 10th in the country right now nationally. So, and then on it follows through on the women's side. We're looking at somewhere in that 6 through 8 range. That entire projection of that score, 6 through 8, is an entire spread of 20 points. And on the mid side, it's the same thing, similar thing. It's 5 through 7. And it's a really tight spread there too. So can we do what we need to do to be at that top end of where we want to be in those projections? And I believe our training has us in the place that we can, and I believe that our athletes are capable of doing that.
What does it mean, or what's an advantage of this being the third time that you've run there over the course of this season, right? Like, I've run the Chicago Marathon 3 times in my running journey, and I always feel like it's every time I run it, I'm more confident. I know what to expect. I know where the crowds are going to be louder and where they're maybe going to bring me along a little too much, and I know where I'm going to have to bring my own juice. This is, of course, a much smaller race than a marathon, but where does that advantage show itself, or where do you hope it shows itself on Friday?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is going to be just, like you said, our familiarity with the course, knowing that if I feel a certain way at X point on the course, that I know what I have left, and how to gauge when I can make that move, or when I can press the envelope a little more. If I'm really good and things are flowing smooth at this certain point, that I can press a little bit more. Or if things are a little bit hot and I know where I'm on the course, same thing. I can shift down a gear a little bit and kind of lock into a group and take my foot off. I don't want to say take my foot off the gas. We don't ever want that, but just settle in a little bit. And I think that that's the biggest thing. And we've talked about that, and not just in our races out there, but some of our workouts out there, that, this is the spot with a 1,500 meter go. And we know that. and this is the spot where we're at with a K to go, and we know that. I mean, we know exactly where 600 is, and we know where 1,000 is. And I think that other teams will be out there tomorrow morning on Thursday, and they'll scout the course and they'll get some feel for that. But our athletes know and have been there and felt that and experienced that, and they know exactly what that spot is and what that feeling is to be there and what they have left. And I hope that just allows us to, dig a little deeper and press those boundaries a little bit further.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. We've mentioned it before. The link is in the show notes if you'd like to buy parking for this. Super cool, too, that it's going to be available on ESPN+. I will be there helping out as well. Chris, this has been so fun to do the pod over the course of the last couple of months with you. We're always talking about the immediate races or the races that just went by. But as I mentioned at the start, this is always the thing that we just look to and talk about, and you've mentioned the course. And so, I'm happy that Thursday, we're recording this Wednesday, happy Thursday is going to be a sunnier day. Get whatever the moisture is, hopefully clear that up. But I loved what you said a couple of minutes ago. Take this in, right? This is such a special moment for you and the program at large. And I'm just super happy that this day is almost here and that your family's going to be there. It should be a wonderful morning and early afternoon.
Yeah, no, looking for it. We need the day that is my background. We need that day right there.
Oh yeah.
So windmills are up. They're installing the timing boards on the windmills earlier today. The course is it's a lot of dreams, a lot of hard work, a lot of goals that are coming together for this moment. So a little sunshine will be much appreciated at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is this week's edition of the Bluejay Shakeout. Can't wait to recap it in a couple of weeks, talk about the Big East Championships, what all went into that day, what you saw, and so much more. Chris, congratulations to you. I know, again, super busy. You got probably have many more emails and text messages to respond to after we finish recording, but a super cool moment for you in the program, and I'm happy to have a small part of it coming up on Friday.
I appreciate it, Josh. Let's go Jays.
Absolutely. All right. Like and subscribe on the way out the door. Thank you for joining us. For Chris, I'm Josh. We will talk to you next time here on the Bluejay Shakeout Podcast.